It's been reported that Australia is the world's third largest consumer of online live child SA material. That's not per capita, we're the third largest overall. So would you promote Westpac after an AUSTRAC investigation found they enabled tens of thousands of child SA offences, which enabled hundreds of PD files to destroy thousands of children's lives? Well, that's exactly what the NRL has done since 2022. They promote Westpac during every game. And incredibly, Braveheart's child protection charity promotes Westpac as being safe for children. It's sickening, right? And we'll go through the details in upcoming episodes. But for now, let's break down what Westpac did. In 2020, Westpac agreed to pay the largest fine in Australian corporate history, a record $1.3 billion civil penalty for more than 23 million breaches of anti-money laundering laws. Now, in AUSTRAC's original statement of claim against Westpac, it uncovered 12 customers who'd transferred almost $500,000 to the Philippines in more than 3,000 separate transactions. These transactions exhibited telltale signs of child exploitation, such as the live streaming of child SA offences and even PD files meeting up with children while they were overseas. If you want to check out for yourself or you want more details, there's a link to the ABC News article in the description. Now, after this came out, Braveheart's child protection charity founder Hetty Johnston outlined the human impact, stating that Braveheart's was cutting ties with Westpac because over 3,000 transactions translates to over 3,000 occasions where a child endured unimaginable yet preventable sexual and physical trauma, while seemingly Westpac didn't care enough to undertake their regulatory oversight. Although Johnston and Braveheart's have since backflipped and they now support Westpac, which is staggering. Anyway, Hetty Johnston's claim that Westpac was associated with over 3,000 child SA offences was just the tip of the iceberg, because that was only for the first 12 customers. AUSTRAC identified another 250 customers, so the actual number of child SA offences was more like 65,000, meaning Westpac enabled over 260 PD files to destroy thousands of children's lives. Is Westpac guilty? Well, they agreed to pay the largest fine in Australian corporate history, so I think we can all join the dots, right? And astonishingly, Australian Government Minister Peter Dutton accused Westpac bosses of enabling PD files in federal parliament.
It's clear, Mr Speaker, that the Westpac banking bosses, through their negligence, have given a free pass to pedophiles, and there is a price to pay for that, Mr Speaker, and that price will be paid, and we've been very clear about it, Mr Speaker.
It's a damning indictment for a government minister to accuse Westpac bosses of giving PD files a free pass, and it's incomprehensible that Bravehearts and the NRL are still prepared to promote Westpac. We've been told that both organisations justify it because they've been told by Westpac bosses that they've changed their ways. But that's absurd and quite possibly racist. It's just what they tell themselves to justify it, and it wouldn't stand up to any serious public scrutiny. Firstly, nothing Westpac is doing now can make up for the thousands of children's lives that have already been destroyed, and it's sickening that anybody would make that claim. Those children, who are underprivileged to begin with, will be forced to endure a lifetime of unimaginable suffering, and they're at a high risk of developing severe mental health issues, drug addiction, unemployment, unstable relationships, and a significantly shorter life expectancy. Secondly, if it were the heads of Bravehearts or the NRL whose children had been abused, in my opinion, there's no way they'd agree to promote Westpac, right? And thirdly, there's a serious racial element to this. Do you think the NRL or Bravehearts would promote Westpac if it had enabled thousands of Australian or US children to be abused, rather than the thousands of underprivileged Asian children with no voice. Those Asian children may not matter to the NRL or Bravehearts, but they do matter, and the Australian Human Rights Commission needs to step in.